So chapter 2 is going to be all about integers. And integers are negative numbers. So, vocabulary words, integers are the set of whole numbers and their opposites. The whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so on. No decimals, no fractions. Their opposites are the negative numbers, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, so on and so on. Absolute value is a concept your book uses to work with integers, but I think it makes it a bit more confusing. So I will cover absolute value here, but I'm going to teach you how to work with integers in a different way. So absolute value is the distance a number is from 0 on a number line. Specifically, it's always positive. And that's something people mess up very often. People like to make absolute value what I call a sign flipper. Meaning, they'll take whatever number is inside the absolute value symbol and just change its sign. But that's not what absolute value does. Absolute value is not a sign flipper, it's a negative destroyer. Absolute value will look at you, being the number inside, and say, hey, are you positive? And if you are, it leaves you alone. If you are negative, it looks at you and says, you can't have that negative sign, give it to me. And you give up your negative sign, and now you're positive. So absolute value, the absolute value of positive 4, well, it looks at positive 4, says you're positive, you're fine. You get to stay as you are, you're 4. When an absolute value looks at negative 4, it goes, hey, you're negative, give me your negative sign and you can leave. So negative 4 says, here's my negative sign, and now it's positive. Absolute value is a negative destroyer. So the absolute value of 5 is 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is positive 5. The absolute value of negative 15 is positive 15. And the absolute value of 0 is 0. Now, in order to actually use integers, I'm going to give these directions. Simplify paired signs. And what I mean by that is if you see plus a negative number, we're going to rewrite it as subtraction. If you see minus a positive number, it is actually subtraction. I don't think you'll actually ever see that combination. And negative negative, or minus a negative, is really addition. Then follow the songs. The songs are posted in the front of the classroom, and if for some reason this is being done online, then they will be posted as their own file. So, here's how we do this. Each of these problems is made up of two numbers. And the first problem is 4 plus 3. Okay, that's like stupid simple, it's 7. Don't overcomplicate. The next problem says negative 4 plus negative 3. I don't like to have signs back to back, so plus negative is a problem for me. So we're going to rewrite that as negative 4 minus 3. Remember up here it says plus and negative is really subtraction. Now there are two numbers. Those numbers are negative 4 and negative 3. Those numbers have the same sign. They're both negative. So when adding them, same sign, keep the sign, negative, add the numbers. 4 and 3 make 7. Same sign, keep and add. This next problem, negative 5 plus negative 4. Again, I don't like paired signs, that plus negative, so I will rewrite plus negative as subtraction. And now we have negative 5 minus 4. When I look at those two numbers, they're both negative. They have the same sign, keep it, and add the numbers. 3 plus 2 is silly simple, it's 5. Negative 4 plus 3. Okay, there's nothing wrong here. There's no paired signs. So we have a negative 4, and we have a positive 3. Those are different signs. When we have different signs, we will subtract the numbers, and that subtraction is in the normal manner, meaning bigger number minus smaller number, so 4 minus 3 is 1. And we keep the sign of the bigger number. Different sign, subtract, and keep the sign of the bigger number. 4 is bigger than 3. In this example, 4 is a negative, so our answer is negative. 4 plus negative 3, I don't like. I don't like plus negative. You know this by now. So we're going to write that as 4 minus 3. And when you do that, this is stupid simple. You know 4 minus 3 is 1. We will rewrite 4 plus negative 5 as 4 minus 5. There are two numbers here. They are positive 4 and negative 5. These have different signs. When we have different signs, we subtract the numbers. 5 minus 4 is 1, and keep the sign of the bigger number. 5 is bigger, 5 was negative, so our answer is negative. And 3 plus negative 2, we will rewrite as 3 minus 2, because we don't deal with plus negative. And when you do that, you see very quickly it's just 3 minus 2. That's 1. Yes, there will be problems here that are, as I call, stupid simple. Don't overcomplicate it. And evaluation. Evaluate means plug in the number that you're told and do the problem. So b wants to be negative 5, so we'll make it negative 5. We have negative 5 plus 12. My numbers are negative 5 and positive 12. Those have different signs, so I will subtract the numbers. 12 minus 5 is 7, and I'll keep the sign of the bigger number. 12 is bigger, so the answer stays positive. Last example here, we're going to replace c with negative 8, so it's going to be 4 plus negative 8. You know I don't like that. Plus negative is really just subtraction, so it's going to be 4 minus 8. We have two numbers here. We have a positive 4, and we have a negative 8. Different signs tell me to subtract the numbers. So 8 minus 4 is 4, and keep the sign from the bigger number. The bigger number is 8. 8 was negative, so our answer is negative 4.